all hell will
Before I
be paid,
take office.
that all hell must be paid if they don't release the
You know what that
hostages.
means, don't you?
Well-
Do I have to define it for you? Look, all
No, I know
hell
you're not
will
gonna
break out.
telegraph
If
what-
those hostages aren't back, I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East.
Can you elaborate?
And it will not be good for Hamas, and it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is. And they should have given them back a long time. They should have never taken them. But I tell this, I don't want to hurt the negotiation. If the deal isn't done before I take office, which is now going to be 2 weeks, all hell will break out in the Middle East. Okay?
Thank you, Mr. President.
You've done a great job.
Thank you.
Can you tell us what you said to Prime Minister Netanyahu in your call on Saturday?
Yeah.
And have you spoken to President Putin since your election?
Well, I'm not going to comment on the Putin question, but I will comment on Bibi. We had a very good talk. We discussed what is going to happen, and I'll be very available on January 20th, and we'll see. As you know, I gave warning that if these hostages aren't back home by that date, all hell's going to break out, and very strong.
Mr. Netanyahu, about a ceasefire deal, you said if they don't have one by the time you take office, there will be hell to pay.
We're going to see what happens.
Have you spoken to Mr. President? Do you have too much
They better let the hostages come back soon.
So when President Trump takes over on January 20th, he's got a situation in the Middle East is simmering. A lot of people waiting for him. Maybe Netanyahu is. There's a report today in Axios that Joe Biden discussed plans to strike Iran's nuclear sites if Tehran was speeding towards a bomb. I heard they are speeding towards a bomb. Do you look at that? Do your sources say the same thing?
Well, here's the issue. I mean, the Iranians have a decision to make. And look at what happened to them. Hamas and Hezbollah decimated. Hezbollah was the organization that they created to protect Iran from Israel. And that organization also has got major problems. They've lost their strategic platform in Syria. They are defenseless at home because Israel stripped away their air defense system. They can't even protect their leaders in Tehran, to be frank about it, much less their nuclear systems and their rockets and missiles. So what's their choice? What they want to do more than anything else is preserve their regime. They've always thought a nuclear weapon would do that. They believe Saddam Hussein would still be in power today, and so would Gaddafi if they had pursued a nuclear weapon successfully. Are they now going to pursue that and get there in a matter of months? That remains to be seen. I think our intelligence agencies are watching it like a hawk. I know where Prime Minister Netanyahu is. He wants to eliminate this threat. He sees this as a strategic opportunity. They're defenseless. They're not going to be able to retaliate very much because they've taken down a lot of their rockets and missiles, and they can do more of that with a strike that goes after their nuclear system. I know he's talking to President Trump and their advisors here, and likely they're working through options, hopefully together.
But this is also when you think back on what is going to happen on the 20th of January, we are going to get somebody back who's resetting American dominance in the world for the American people, and it's going to be important. You know, I remember, Kayleigh, when the last State of the Union in February of 2020, when the president stood in the well of the House and he made the comment, if you attack an American, your life is forfeit.
So, General, as we're going to weave in some of the incidents that have happened over the last year of attacks around the world, how do we stop this? Is there something we could do in the Middle East to stop what's happening in the West?
Well, certainly at the foundation of all of this is an ideology that perpetuates it. And they have a big idea, and it's difficult to defeat an idea like that, given the roots that exist in some of these countries to help fester and grow that idea.
And you're going to see that with this reset, and I will call it an American reset, that you're going to see on the 20th of January. And then when it comes to the Middle East, people should understand, whether you like it or not, you're both going to fear and respect the United States of America. And it's just not going to be in the Middle East. It's going to be globally as well. So the sooner this administration packs its bags, walks out the door on the 20th, I think it's going to be a lot better for America.
No doubt. And